Hello everyone, it's Finnovation. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make some awesome huge bubbles just like the one that you're seeing now. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so these are the materials that you're going to need. First you're going to need 2 sticks, then you're going to need some J-lube, more about that later. You're also going to need some 100% cotton rope. So this is about the thickness ours is. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. You're also going to need some dish soap, 2 little hooks. These aren't necessary, but they could help, and a little bit of a weight at the bottom. And we're just using these washers, and you could technically use whatever you want for the weight at the bottom. Alright, so now we're actually going to build the string part of it. Now this is going to be a little bit complicated. So what you want is definitely have 100% cotton rope. Now the big thing is when you make a bubble, if you've ever blown a bubble with your hand by covering your hands in soap and kind of going like that and then blowing through and it makes like a little bubble wand, it's really important that it's a seal all the way around there. So that's why a bubble wand is round and not square, so there's no harsh edges, so that if you took a little chunk out of it, it wouldn't work. The same thing applies here. So if I have my bubble wand like this, and it's all good, right? But now if I have it on the pieces of wood, where it hits that wood, that will be where the bubble will pop, so I'll never be able to blow a bubble out of it. And that's why we need these 2 pieces of string here. The other thing you could do is run a piece of string along here, and then tie another one going like this. But it's important that where the actual bubble is going to be doesn't touch the wood. So for us, like I said, we're just using this piece of string, and it's actually got a little bit of stretch, so that might help too. But all I'm going to do is tie a knot here and go around. Alright, so as you can see here, this is what we've got. And now what I want to do is we've got some washers as our weight at the bottom, and I'm just going to tie a knot, making sure that the washers aren't touching that bubble ring, so that the bubble ring is still a seal. So I'm just going to tie a knot, just like that. And now we've got a weight at the bottom and 2 wands. Now it's time to do the mixture. The first thing that you're going to need is 24 ounces of dishwashing soap. I've heard that it can be anywhere from 24 ounces to 30 ounces. That's about 1 big water bottle and 1 small water bottle, or just like a standard container of it. So I'm going to dump that in now. We just use the water bottles to measure since we know how much they are. Next thing you're going to need is 1 tablespoon of J-lube. And if you do live in the local area, like you know where I am, then you could always ask for it, because we do have a very large bottle, and I don't think that I'm going to be making, hundreds and hundreds of this mix. Alright, so as you can see, it's kind of like a slime consistency right now, and that's what you want. And make sure that before you add our next ingredient, make sure it's all the way mixed. The next thing that we're going to do is add 3 gallons of water. So I'm going to do that right now. Now my last ingredient is going to be 3 tablespoons of baking powder. Now this is optional, but it supposedly helps your bubbles stay without popping for a couple seconds longer in the air. So I'm going to give it a shot. Alright, so as you guys can see, this stuff it's thick and gooey. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dip my actual string into it, and I've never done this before, and this is going to be my first try. Whoa, that's so cool. Then opening it up, then. Whoa, that was so cool. And after a little bit more bubble blowing, my younger neighbors came over to enjoy the bubbles as well.
Oh, look at that huge one.
Pop 'em. Get them. Alright, we'll dip it again and go. So by the end, I did learn that there was a little bit of a technique to it, and those ones at the lake were actually like the last ones I did, but it felt like the slower you went to take it out of the bucket, the better the bubbles would go. So sometimes like if I would take the string out of the bubble too fast, then the bubbles would pop before I could even get to blow one. But what seemed to work the best is not opening all the way, but at the same time, not going too small. So as you can see there, I was moving too fast, I felt like, and that's why that one popped. But otherwise, I think this was just like, it's a lot of fun to do, and it just takes a little bit of practice. And one last time, I do want to say that if you do live in the local area and you want some of the J-Lube to borrow, I mean, we've got a lot of it. And I also want to say that this project was actually a ton of fun. I was outside blowing bubbles all day, and blowing the bubbles was a blast. I love doing the bubbles.
Finn, that reminds me of a joke.
Really?
It really does. What did the giant bubble say to the pin?
I don't know what.
I get your point.
Oh, that's terrible. Whatever, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!